And now, coming to you live from Huntsville Attic Studios, it's Pop Culture Philosophers. And here are your hosts, Rockin, Robbie, Phillips, and John Hammertime Holshoe.
Hey, it's the Pop Culture Philosophers coming to you, as always, from the Huntsville Attic. Really excited, new episode tonight. It's going to be thirds, threequels, and 3D. Very excited. Very excited. I'm so excited.
You sound excited.
I can't contain myself.
I don't think you can fight it.
I can't. As always, with me, Rockin' Robbie Phillips.
Hey, yes, live in the Huntsville Attic, as usual. Thank you. Third episode, PCP, thirds, threequels, and 3D. Do you guys get it? Aren't we clever? With us tonight, Justin Goldsmith.
Hi, it's good to be back.
Ah, yes, it is. It's good to have you back. It's been a long time since time travel. For Justin, it's only been 2 minutes.
Because he time traveled?
Yeah, he time traveled from episode 1 to 3. So, good to have you back. Also, the return of James Lineback, everybody, in the Huntsville Attic.
Hey guys, it's good to be back. I had a little bit of a hiatus there. Little kid stuff chased me around.
And he did not have
everything.
access to the time travel machine that Justin did.
Yeah.
Justin's been hogging it.
Well,
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk about that.
I'm excited to be here, John. Thirds, threequels, and 3D, huh?
We were originally going to call episode Squeakquel, but we changed it. Because it wasn't the second one, nor do we have chipmunks on the show.
Well, let's get into the theme. There are a few movies that have 3 in the title that are not necessarily part 3s of sagas and
Well,
trilogies.
then it's misleading, I think.
Yeah,
I'm like, how can I see third counters if I've never seen the first one?
Third encounters?
Yeah.
Three Fast, Three
Well, that
Furious.
brings me to it. We're going to be talking a little bit about the American classic by Steven Spielberg. We watched it recently. You probably saw the PCP Movie Night YouTube video. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Came out in 1997, November 16th to be exact. It was supposed to come out in the summer, but production was delayed a little bit because it took longer than they wanted it to. And it's probably good for the movie that it didn't come out in summer of 77 because Star Wars did. And it might have hurt it. But it was directed, of course, and written by Steven Spielberg, even though like 8 people wrote that movie. He just gets the credit. It had like a budget of $18 million. It's grossed over $337 million.
Not too shabby.
3 different versions of the film. 1977 is the original one, but he didn't feel like he had enough time to finish the movie, so he wanted to do something else. So the 80 cut that we watched is actually, the studio gave him like $1.5 million more dollars, and they were like, you can throw
Generous studio.
Yeah,
Generous.
they were like, you can throw in whatever you want, just show us the inside of the spaceship, which he didn't want to do. So in 1998, he took it back out, and that's the definitive version that he says he likes to watch. But it's pretty cool, man. You know, there was I really liked the movie. I was doing some research, and a lot of critics picked up on the Jewish mythology stuff that I was talking about like Mount Sinai, you know, and the calling, the burning bush, and all that kind of stuff. I really think it's intentional. Steven Spielberg, obviously, is Jewish. So I think that was put in there. And he even said that he wanted it to resonate with a lot of people. So why not use Jewish mythology, which most Americans know a little bit. We've all seen the 10 Commandments, which they're even playing in the movie. But I don't know, James, you're a big film guy. What do you think about the movie?
It's it's a a very different approach to aliens arriving. There's not a big massive war, and no one's it's just like, hey, we're coming by, guys. Maybe you should learn how to talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, that is more about communication and first contact, and it's not like necessarily filled with conflict.
Right.
You know, the aliens aren't coming to invade. And Spielberg has a fascination with aliens. His very first film he ever made as a teenager, I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was about aliens. And there are some shots in Close Encounters that are shot for shot, like what he did as a teenager, you know. And he's always had a fascination with it. Most of his work deals with peaceful alien contact. Mm-hmm. It's the humans that mess it up. It's like Day the Earth Stood Still.
Correct.
The War of the Worlds is the different thing, but of course H.G. Wells wrote that, and that's not the best alien Spielberg movie.
Well, even E.T. is that.
Yeah, E.T. is a peaceful contact.
Yeah.
And it's men that mess it up, and the men almost mess it up in Close Encounters.
Fucking men.
Yeah. They're not after the government. I like the movie. I like that point, too. I mean, do you think it draws a parallel with Day the Earth Stood Still?
I definitely think so. I mean, don't get caught up in hysteria. Don't like immediately think things are going to be bad. Sometimes it's okay to be, optimistic.
I'm proud of humanity in that movie, and I would love to think that when we make first contact, that it would be in a situation like that with the disco lights behind us and everything.
Exactly.
John, what did you think about the movie? We watched it recently. We talked a little bit on the video, but expand on that a little bit, please.
I enjoyed it. The special effects hold up really well. You said there was 3 cuts, and you talked about the director's cut, and you talked about the original, but the second one you didn't mention was the TV cut, which we talked about how they used to do that.
It actually wasn't a TV cut, I found out doing a little bit of research, but they actually allowed him to re-release the movie because he wanted to put more stuff into it. He wasn't finished with it. He felt like they were rushed at the end of that movie to get it out on time. It was already overdue, and he was like, well, let's put it out next summer. They're like, no, we want it for the Christmas season. And it's a great, when I think of Christmas, I think of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He would say the third cut is his favorite because he didn't want to show the inside of the alien ship.
Which was, in the original version, a Denny's.
But yeah, they actually re-released it in theaters in 1980. Which was interesting to me because I thought it was a television cut too. Now, some television versions actually incorporate every single scene from all 3 versions
for the runtime.
Yeah, and apparently there's a way in the Blu-ray to do that too.
Okay, I enjoyed it. I mean, the special effects hold really well. I like the story. Richard Dreyfuss does an awesome job. Richard Dreyfuss is a great actor. He should do more stuff with Spielberg.
The special effects are great, aren't they? Are they not? They filmed the movie.
Phenomenal.
They filmed the movie in like 35 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
They filmed the special effects in 70 millimeter, and it works so well. I mean, and if you think about Star Wars came out the same year, and most spaceships are like in film of that time are like Star Wars. They're like gray, and they look like aircraft. But the UFO in this movie are different. They're like luminescent, and one of them actually was like an oxygen mask. Because they like the shape of it. So it's actually just an oxygen mask. They put some luminescent lights on. I don't know. Luminescent lights, I say.
That sound, that rhythm or whatever that they send, that they replicate, that we learn to talk, that stays with you. That initial,
Boom, boom.
Yeah. Which I heard originally was the wah 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 from Charlie Brown, but they changed it.
John Williams did the score in this movie. By the way,
John Williams versus Spielberg?
Spielberg always wanted to do the When You Wish Upon a Star because that was one of the things that influenced him.
And that's in one of the cuts, right?
Yeah, it's in the final cut, or not the final cut, but the collector's edition cut.
And they reference Pinocchio, too, in the film.
Yeah, and he said that he actually wrote the movie based on the way that song makes him feel. So that sense of wonderment that the film gives you is like parallel to the sense of wonderment that he got from Pinocchio.
So we're talking about part 3s, or 3s. We're talking about part 3s. Let's talk about some of the... Yeah, let's talk about some of the worst third films.
There are a lot of bad ones, dude.
There are a lot of bad ones.
I found that when I was coming up with these...
Most of them are bad.
Yeah, I found when I came up with my list, most of the ones I could think of at first were terrible movies.
Yeah, there are a lot of bad ones. And a lot of it, like we were discussing, James earlier and I were discussing, it's cash grab. They're like, okay, the first one was original. The second one, you suckers went and paid and saw, even though it was a different director and writer. And we lost the initial cast because they're like, I'm too good for this piece of shit, Poltergeist 2. And and then the third one is just cash grab. Like, well, these we're going to cut the budget. People will still go see it anyway because of the title, and that's what the third one. Not all the time. There's some great third films, but there's a lot of shit out there.
That's kind of why I'm glad they didn't just jump into Tron 3. Because the second one was good, and I don't want...
shut your whore mouth.
I don't want
Tron
3 to become that. Do you want that to happen?
Well, there's like a curse on 3s, I think, and if you really want to question why that happens, I would think it's because kind of like what you were saying, but the filmmakers start taking their audience for granted. They're like, oh, they're going to watch this movie no matter what.
They'll like it.
They watch 1 and 2, they're going to watch
They're
it no matter what.
They're a bunch of sheep. They'll come watch it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it. And the people that, when they do a part 3, they always feel like they have to somehow undermine the first 2 movies to do it better.
Right. They have to undo, or like they jump right into it and kind of undo anything that happened in the first 2 movies to make a third movie possible. It's basically the whole jump in the shark thing. They have to do something completely oddball to what's been done in all the other movies. Yeah. Say, some of them, they come back and they make a whole movie funny for no apparent reason.
Justin, in your opinion, why do most third films suck?
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's somebody will make a movie. If it's not one that's planned out to be a trilogy or a series of films, they'll make a movie and then be like, oh my God, everybody loved that. We should do another one. The business people are like, that'll sell. And the guy that made it's like, oh yeah, I think I could do another one. Or if he already has one, then they go do it. And it does well. Even before the second one is made, if the studio feels like it's going to do really well, they'll just go ahead and say, we're going to do a third one. And then if it bombs, they're like, no, we're still going to do a third one.
We've already budgeted. Anyway. Yeah. It's still gross money. It's still
I think Fox just announced Fantastic Four 3.
They're doing 6 more in the franchise. They're doing 4.
4, yeah.
It'd be great if they could ever do that, but it's not.
So like on the studio's end, it's going to make them money anyway most of the time. So they're just, well, the first one was good. We'll just keep doing it.
I think that's definitely like the case with Superman 3.
I would be upset if I was a director who came in and did a great film, and then now the film company has the rights and they just drag your name through the mud. You have no association, and they're just like running through that, like, oh, let's do a Jaws 3D. But they just keep making, So I understand that, But there's exceptions to the rule. Most are crap. Let's just start. James, can you give any examples of third films in a series or third films they're just in your mind?
I'll give you 3 off the top of my head.
Okay, 3 would be great.
Turtles in Time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. X3. Godfather 3.
Godfather 3. I kind of like Godfather 3.
I was going to say Godfather.
They throw a lot of extra nonsensical stuff in the story.
At least it feels like, it belongs to the other two. It feels like it bookends it. I don't know.
I mean, kind of. It's like 20 years later,
Yeah, but the whole draw of The Godfather is 1940s mobsters.
Yeah, well, I mean, Al Pacino was not, maybe, I'm surprised they haven't redone The Godfather.
Oh, my God.
Now that I've said that, that's about to be announced. You just wait.
Surely
it's going to have The Rock in it.
Surely the studio heads that listen to our podcast should not heed that advice.
Justin, do you have 3 in mind or any films you want to throw out there? Do you just think didn't live up to the hype or just crap films?
Well, Home Alone 3 was just the biggest disappointment.
Is that the first one with like the
without
other kid?
Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah, not Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, it was really confusing. And also, there's a 4th one that I wasn't even aware of until a couple months ago. I saw
a 4th one.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I don't even. It doesn't even have the kid from 3 in it.
He grew up by that.
Yeah. Alien 3. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
If you hadn't seen the other ones, it's probably okay. But it's kind of like, you have expectations going into Alien 3.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
And given it's been a long time since I've seen it.
It's either going to be really scary or it's going to have some crazy action. There's going to be stuff blowing up everywhere. And then, it starts off as a slow prison movie.
The big problem with Alien 3 is what it does to the previous films. You know what I'm saying? Like how
they immediately kill off everyone.
Yeah. Like, and that's
in 2 seconds.
Yeah. If you hadn't seen Alien or Aliens, Alien 3 is pretty dope. I think that might have been the first one I ever consciously watched.
Yeah.
But
it had a lot. It also had a lot.
It's also
live
very
up
sepia.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, it
That's
did.
David Fincher.
Yeah.
Guy did Fight Club in 7. So,
I did like.
He's done okay for himself.
What's his name? The older British guy that's in it. It's been so long since I watched that movie.
Oh, the oldest British guy.
The Alien 3?
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, yeah. I like him.
Was it Carl Weathers? I was like,
Also,
Carl Weathers.
Rush Hour 3 was the next one on my list.
Oh, yeah, that movie's horrible.
It's so bad, I don't even remember. It kind of blurs together with the second one in my mind.
Maybe you should revisit it. Maybe it'll change your mind.
No.
Because I have it on my top 5. No, I don't. I do not. Robbie.
Also, I wanted to mention this because I don't think anybody else is going to say anything about it. Tremors 3.
Is that when they start walking?
That's the ass blasters when they fly.
Which one do they get up and walk? Is that the second?
They walk in
Tremor?
the second one. They come out.
Okay.
That one's.
That one, when
they
you start walking, you should have got out and fucking walked out of the theater. That was bad. 2 was bad enough.
No, I like this. I like the 4th
How many
one.
have Kevin Bacon?
I love Tremors.
1, I think. Just one.
That's
right?
all that matters.
Just the first
Kevin
one.
Bacon. If it doesn't have Kevin Bacon, and I will not watch it.
I think that's
I
what
feel
they
over
bring
every
back
film.
characters
You know who's
who
in all of them?
died.
Bert.
Or in it.
Bert's in all of them.
top? Do you have 3 bad movies you can think of, Robbie, or movies you want to talk about in general that were just crap?
Well, there's some obvious ones I don't think people have mentioned, but real quick, I want to get back to something that James said. Last Stand, X3. That movie fucking sucks, dude. Just
I think
straight up. That
there's
movie sucks.
The begining's good.
No.
No, not even the first half
You're
hour.
thinking of the Wolverine, right?
No, that was bad too. I guess they're both bad. I'm thinking of the X2.
All right, so Superman 3, that's pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, emo
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
kind of bad. Yeah, that whole little scene.
Yeah, the whole
Oh, my
song and
goodness.
dancing that kills the whole movie.
Scream 3. Not a big fan of.
Yeah, they kind of
Scream
veered
3.
off. I love 2, and 4 was great.
I love 1,
but
2,
3
and
kind
4.
of lost its bearings.
And I hear the series is good. And Terminator 3, kind of bad, really bad.
I still haven't even seen it because of what everybody's
goofy.
saying about it.
Wait, so you're in Genesis, but you've not seen Terminator
I haven't
3.
even seen Genesis yet.
What about you, John?
I'm going to throw out RoboCop 3. Peter
That's
Weller.
ninjas.
Peter Weller wasn't even in that. Peter Weller's like, fuck this noise.
And Peter Weller rarely says no.
Yeah. Transformers 3. If the other ones weren't mediocre popcorn
like Dark
flicks,
Side of the Moon
yeah,
or whatever.
Megan
Oh,
Fox,
yeah.
whoever, didn't stick around for it. She's like, fuck this. No, you're Peter Weller out doing something else.
I haven't even seen it, but I heard that Pink Floyd, in fact, did not do the soundtrack, so I just didn't even want to bother.
He also
Yeah,
apologized
lame.
for that.
Like Dark of the Moon or something.
Michael Bay.
And then officially,
Michael Bay apologized
he
for a movie, and
apologized.
it wasn't Pearl Harbor.
did he apologize for that, or did he apologize for the whole Megan Fox and him fighting
For
thing?
Dark of the I think it was Dark of the Moon. He specifically
Dark Side
came
of the
out.
Moon. Yeah.
No, it's,
Yeah,
it's
Dark
Dark,
of the
of the
Moon.
Moon.
Is it Dark of the Moon?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
it's
it
a
doesn't
piece of
even make
shit
sense,
film of
yeah.
the moon. Okay, but here's the one that I think people didn't mention and actually had famous actors in it. Probably the worst third film of all time. Look Who's Talking Now. With the fucking dogs.
the dogs, man.
That movie was a huge pile of dog
Oh
shit.
my goodness.
I
People
remember
forgot
when they
that.
had the sketch on Saturday Night Live, and it was like, who's looking also now too, and it's like the coat rack in the corner is talking and shit.
You know, another one that we haven't mentioned is Friday After Next.
Friday After Next.
Yeah, that's not a good one either. It's bad.
No,
Okay, so those are our shittiest third films in our opinions. So don't watch them. We're gonna be right back.
Hey everybody, Rockin' Robbie here. I want to thank you for listening to Pop Culture Philosophers. I want to take this opportunity to let you know that Rockin' with Rockin' Robbie is coming back this October with our 4th annual Halloween special. And you will be hearing Rockin' Robbie about every 2 to 3 months from that point forward. Also on Thursdays, be sure to check out popculturephilosophers.com and our Facebook page, where we will be re-releasing the original Smile or Else Show episodes and the original Rockin' with Rockin' Robbie episodes in the order that they came out on Throwback Thursdays. So check those out. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Pop Culture Philosophers. That's where you will find my Super Mythology series. The next episode, Batman, How to Be More Successful, will be coming very, very soon. Also, tons of video blogs that we do, like PCP Movie Night and whatnot. It's a good time. Go on there, crush that like button anytime you like one of our videos. It really, really helps us out. Hey everybody, Rockin' Robbie here. Thanks for tuning back into Pop Culture Philosophers. With me, of course, is John Hammertime Holshoe,
Hey.
James Lineback,
what's up?
and Justin Goldsmith.
Yo.
And right now we're going to talk about another three movie. Three Kings. We Three Kings of Orient are a film that was made in 1999. It came out on October 1st, you see. Written and directed by David O. Russell.
Nice.
It was originally written by a former stand-up comedian, John Ridley. It was an experiment that he did, actually. Not an experiment, but an experiment. It was about, he wanted to know how fast he could write and sell a movie. It took him 7 days to write the movie, 18 days to sell it.
Wow.
When David O. Russell was being offered movies to do at Warner Brothers, he saw the script and he's like, he just loved the simple concept. You know, it's a heist film in the Gulf War. So he was like, I want to do that one. Rewrote the script entirely, and Ridley to this day is still upset about it.
Yeah, there's a little hate. There's a little hate between him and Russell.
Yeah. George Clooney was begging for this part. Back in 1999, when this movie was made, he was still just the guy from ER and Roseanne.
Yeah, he wasn't George Clooney yet.
Yeah, he wasn't George Clooney. He wasn't the George Clooney yet. That part was originally written because Russell wrote, when he rewrote the script, he wrote with specific actors in mind. It was originally going to be written for Eastwood, but then he changed it, and they actually cast Nicolas Cage in the role.
Man.
But he signed then on to do Scorsese's Bringing Out the Dead. And so then Russell's like, whatever, Clooney. But Clooney was crazy to do this movie. What's so funny?
I was thinking of Bringing Out Your Dead. It's a whole different, whole different film.
Bring out your dead.
For some reason, I thought of like Bring It On with zombies or some shit.
I think
watch that.
I think it's a really great film. I enjoy it. I think it says a lot. You know, I like the. I don't know. They go there. They go to steal the gold, and they see the actual plight of these people, and they decide that they're going to help them out. You know?
This movie kind of takes care of all of our guilt, about this kind of.
I really thought it was a comedy from the trailers before I saw the film.
Yeah. And
it's got some comedic elements, especially Spike Jonze's character, but it definitely doesn't stay that course. It's a great film.
Spike Jonze's first acting role, I believe, and they had to fight to get him on the film. But that character was written for him.
Great director. He's a great director.
Definitely.
Spike Jonze?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's really funny in the movie.
Oh, he's great in the film, too, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the film actually is Spike Jonze.
Yeah.
But Ice Cube it's probably his best movie.
Ice Cube, Mark Wahlberg is really good in the movie. George Clooney's really, and it's hard to think that this is before they were all like
Wait
big
a minute,
guys.
that sounds like Four Kings.
Well, Spike Jonze wasn't one of the kings.
Yeah, spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he sang the song, right, in the movie. It was him. I really like the movie. I think it's very intriguing. Justin, I think you just watched this movie today.
Yes, today.
What do you think?
I really enjoyed it. I like the transformation that they make his characters. Sort of. I don't think they were completely terrible people in the beginning, but they didn't want to be in the war, and the war was over.
They were disillusioned too.
Yeah.
Are we still shooting?
Especially Clooney's
Yeah, we're still
character.
shooting the very beginning. And David O. Russell is the guy that did American Hustle, and I saw that before this. So when the movie first started, I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is going to be like kind of have a bouncy story that's got a lot of comedy stuff in it, and it did. But I wasn't expecting it to go like whenever they start seeing what's going on with these people, they're like, no, we're not cool with this. And
they broke the ceasefire in the film.
Yeah, they broke the ceasefire too. Which did they shoot first, or did one of the other guys shoot first?
You were the one that just watched it.
I think it was the other guy that shot first. So oddly, they didn't break the ceasefire, but it doesn't matter.
A great film. Anyway. What about the torture scene, dude? I remember that vividly.
The oil?
Grinding his teeth.
Oh, made him drink the oil?
No, when they first turned it on and he started grinding his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The movie is really good. If you guys have not seen Three Kings, we highly recommend that you watch this movie.
So we're talking about third movies in series and, threequels, etc., third films. But we were talking about earlier, and something I mentioned, Jaws 3D. And there was this for a while there, it seems like every third movie was a 3D film. Like, we're going to do a third movie, it's going to be a cash grab. Why not 3D? You got Jaws 3D, you got Friday the 13th. I think they just called it Part 3, but it was 3D. So it happened to be a lot of 3D films.
Most definitely.
And so I was going to talk a little bit about 3D films. So sit down, have a cup of coffee. Or
get out your special glasses.
Liquor, your whatever you drink. Straight bourbon, whatever it is, Goldsmith.
Yeah.
So 3D films, believe it or not, the process itself was created in the late 1800s, which blows my mind that they created 3D films back then. But it just wasn't practical to have that equipment in the theater. It was just there was just too much equipment. And so in 1915, they were actually doing test reels to audiences using the red and green anaglyph format that I think a lot of us are familiar with. Maybe not the red and green, maybe the red and blue. The throwaway glasses that kind of came about in the 50s. And so 22 was the first 3D film called The Power of Love, which inspired, of course, the Huey Lewis song. He saw that movie in 3D, and he went out and wrote a fucking song about it. That's how powerful this film was. So jump ahead to the 50s. We had this big advancements in 3D, and then again, like I said, you had the popular throwaway glasses, which they use for comics and film. And there was a big 3D craze in the 50s.
Yeah, with all the atomic movies and the giant ants and all that.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, but I'd say half the movies were something going on with the nuclear bomb, and then a giant ant or a giant ant creature. There was a lot of those types of films. So and there's some notable films from then. It Came from Outer Space, Dial M for Murder, Creature from the Black Lagoon, House of Wax, Inferno. Those are some of the biggest of the era. If anybody has any other films they can throw out there from the 50s.
I can't think of the 50s, but some of the 60s. One of my favorites was 13 Ghosts.
13
It
Ghosts?
wasn't necessarily all 3D, but they made it to where just the ghosts only appeared when you had the glasses on. So the ghosts were in 3D.
Nice. That's a good effect.
It's actually really cool, and it's fun to watch because it's really hokey. Like got skeletons falling out of closets and stuff.
So
It's the best.
as quickly as it took off, it kind of died off, and you had few and far between. And then in the late 70s, they brought out Stereovision was introduced, and it put 3D film on a single 35 millimeter strip. So then you have the resurgence because now every theater can have 3D again with those same red and blue glasses. And so this late 70s, 80s gave us Parasite, Amityville 3D, Jaws 3D, like I said, Friday the 13th Part 3. So the 3D came back, but again, it was the red and blue. And a lot of that has to do with the cost of the equipment. You do it that way, you got cheap disposable glasses, not the best 3D, but every theater could do that because, you had the simple throwaway glasses.
Right.
And so, and then, again, you had that started rising back up in the 80s, kind of faded away again. Then more recently, people recall it came back big time. This time theaters are investing a little more, and we're using the, the
polarization.
Yeah, the polarized glasses, which requires more on the theater's part for equipment, because there's that piece that goes in front of the actual lens housing, but it gives you a better 3D effect. And you can still use cheap glasses. There was the shutters as well. I don't know if you guys ever went to IMAX or anybody where they were using the shutters for a while. The shutter glasses were really expensive. And the shutter would open and shut one eye. And that took off for home theater for a while, but it's been phased out because A, the glasses are expensive as shit. B, it gave me terrible headaches because you actually had a pair of glasses with a little motor and it would open and shut different lenses to give you that 3D effect. But it was terrible. It was terrible. So they more recently got the polarized. Avatar was pretty big when that came out, and there's been some other big films since then. And the polarized has stuck around, and there's been some great 3D films as of late. But just as quickly as it came out, I think you guys agree that it's kind of died down again. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's increased ticket sales are higher. You can charge more for 3D film, correct?
Correct.
And so now these people are like, well, or these studios are like, if you can charge more, and they get a percentage, they get the majority of the ticket price. The theater takes very little from that. If you can charge more, you'll make more. So let's just do all this post-conversion. So they would do all these 2D films and like half-ass them to 3D.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people went, as of late, have seen 3D films and just been disappointed with the 3D quality.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it was jumping out at you. And I think lately the 3D has kind of died off. The fad died off. And I wouldn't say it was a fad. If it was done right, I think you'd still have a lot of people going out of their way to see 3D. But I think so many people have been burnt out on just this half-assed 3D that it's kind of died off again, if you agree. Anybody?
Oh, most definitely.
I've never gotten into the whole 3D thing, and I didn't say I had been to see a 3D movie recently. It was Gravity. And Gravity was
I heard that was
like
good in 3D.
it's
I
like
heard it was
the
awesome in 3D.
perfect 3D experience, because my whole deal with 3D movies is that I don't like, you can see the edge of the screen obviously because it's a 2D thing on a wall, and then you got stuff coming out of it, and it's kind of like you're bottlenecking. If you're there, you're like looking through a box or something like that, and I don't really like that. But now with Gravity, it's in space, so like everything's black around the edges, and you can still tell the edge of the screen is there, but
It blurs that line. It makes it a little more believable.
Yeah, because like when you show
brings you into
Sandra
it a little more.
Bullock on the little tether thing swinging around in space, that's all you see. So
Oh, the
in this dark
tetherball scene
theater-
where she plays tetherball for a half hour for no reason.
Yeah, and it just goes around and it's all in your face. But no, it's with that, it's everything is black in the room, and all you can see is the one lit up object spinning around, and it's in 3D, and that's actually pretty cool.
So that was one of the. So, not including that one, because you've already mentioned it. What other movies have you enjoyed that you've seen in 3D that you're like, or that would be great in 3D?
Yeah. Well, that one's obviously my favorite. I was underwhelmed with Avatar when it came out. It was really good, but again, I'm really not a huge fan of 3D. I will say though, I was very impressed with Resident Evil Extinction. I think it was when it came out.
One?
Yes.
The one in the desert with the birds, the zombie birds in the bus.
Is that Apocalypse? Or is
That's
that
what was the one
Extinction.
after that?
That is Extinction.
Was there a
It's the
fourth
desert
one?
That's Extinction.
I don't know.
there-
There's like 80 films.
there
They're
a
making
fourth
another
That's a
one.
really good part 3.
I can't even remember which. Was there a fourth one?
I think
There's like 5 of them, dude.
Yeah,
Like
they're making
Afterlife.
another one. They're
Afterlife.
making one
That
right
was
now.
it. It was Afterlife. I'm sorry, not Extinction.
I never saw it.
But they didn't do hardly anything in 3D, which is funny that I say that. But they had certain things like some holographic displays
They really
on the
bit
desk.
they did.
Yeah, like they did some of the fight scenes, like when you like doing a drop kick or something and come out a little bit. They didn't overuse it, and that was what made it cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say this Green Hornet in 3D, the new Green Hornet film with Seth Rogen. I forgot Seth Rogen's name all of a sudden. The 3D was few and far. Like the action scenes were few and far between, and those parts really used the 3D well. But you could have watched it in 2D without those. But I really enjoyed those scenes because they did a good job in those. So, and it was the fight scenes with Kato. It's just badass in it. If you guys recall, he was probably the best part of the film. And other than that, I saw Tron Legacy in 3D.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was phenomenal in 3D.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
they
Tron
didn't
Legacy is
overuse it in
awesome.
that
Yeah,
either.
it was done well.
Good.
And I think because of the world that they're in, it lends itself well to 3D.
Mm-hmm.
James, have you seen any 3D films that you of the films you've seen, or any that knocked your socks off?
It wasn't generally a good movie, but Journey to the Center of the Earth was actually 3D, and it was really good.
That's actually rated pretty highly for its 3D. That's the one with Brendan Fraser, right?
Yeah, because I mean, they use it a lot because they're traveling through this mystical, undiscovered realm beneath the Earth. So there's all these crazy mushrooms and flying fish and all kinds of craziness.
I heard that adds more 3D to it if you take some crazy mushrooms before you go see the film. Is in fact that you didn't see it in 3D at all. You just took some mushrooms before the film. 3D, man. Like, dude, those are the TV's not even on. Robbie, 3D, mentionable, anything you recall? Do you have a 3D television?
I do not have a 3D television.
But you said you saw Ant-Man in theaters. You enjoyed that.
Yeah. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Like, that was the first one I saw in the theaters in 3D. And I went with James. And there's a part where, like, they're underwater swimming. And it looked like an aquarium was right in front of me. And Brendan Fraser was just hanging there. Just chilling. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. I like to think about that.
Did you try to reach out and kiss him?
Fondly. Yeah, I
Because
did.
we know you love Brendan Fraser.
He just reached his hand out.
Encino Man, come to me.
I don't like Avatar. I don't think Avatar is a very good film.
I don't think so either.
But I did think that the 3D was very, very cool.
Yeah, I was impressed by the 3D, but I think the film was a mediocre film. I think James Cameron's done better films by far.
I saw Phantom Menace when they did that in 3D, and it was
nice.
one of those bad ones because it was just, you could tell where they 3D modeled the 3D over it.
That got re-released in 3D, correct?
Yeah, and
I
was
don't remember it being the initial release.
It was re-released, but they didn't do the other ones. It didn't pan out. But my favorite 3D movie I ever saw in the theater, especially, because at home I kind of like watching 3D films, like Friday the 13th. I used to watch that in 3D. Like even just the red and blue stuff. I always like that. I don't know. I always think it's kind of cool.
But I think a lot of that's your childhood. So
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I'm saying?
nostalgia.
You're like, yeah, nostalgia a lot.
But my favorite 3D experience and movie I've ever seen is Dread. Like Dread was. I don't think Dread's as good not in 3D.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Dread is awesome, especially where they take that drug.
Oh yes.
I love
And everything
Dread
slows
in
down.
3D.
That dude gets shot.
Yeah.
You're falling, and it just there's so
all
much.
that glass and they're
Yeah,
falling
there's
down.
so much layers of depth. in
I think
that,
it's the
like, so many
combination of the
different- yeah.
action and the drug use in the
But
film.
it was filmed for 3D,
yeah,
right?
and it was filmed for 3D.
Exactly.
It lends itself
Yeah.
well to 3D.
That's the difference.
I love that movie in 3D. Speaking of which, we are giving that movie away in a Blu-ray combo pack, as well as some 3D glasses. You just have to like and share this podcast you're listening to right now to be entered. Like and share, enter in the contest, Blu-ray combo pack, and again, couple pairs of 3D glasses. Now you provide the TV and the
A
Blu-ray
pair,
player.
not a couple pair.
No, 2 pairs.
4 glasses?
Wait a minute, a pair?
Wait, no, glasses are a pair because
yeah.
they're 2
Okay,
lenses.
we're giving you 2 sets of glasses. I'm so confused. We're giving you 2 sets of glasses and the Blu-ray combo pack. Again, you got to provide the TV and the 3D. I think 3D is kind of standard on Blu-rays now. Blu-ray players.
Oh yeah,
Not
I have a
everybody's
3D
got a 3D
Blu-ray player.
Yeah, not everybody's got a 3D
Not
TV. But it's an awesome movie on 3D. That's my other one I was going to throw out there. I love that movie on 3D. It lends itself well to 3D.
It's
a great
great,
experience. Yeah.
Carl Urban is amazing in that film.
Yeah. I always get him confused with Keith Urban. Not the same guy.
No.
I always get them confused.
All right, guys, we got a very special treat tonight. We have with us from the acclaimed writer from the Rushmore Tri-State Community College. He is the pretentious film critic, everybody, and he's going to give us his review and reactions and opinions on the classic film Three Ninjas.
Thank you for having me again. Three Ninjas. The epic tale of 3 young heroes who have to not only undertake the changing and urging of growing, but also take on criminals who even the FBI struggle to protect us from. But luckily, these 3 have been trained by their grandfather, Rocky, Colt, Tum Tum. These 3 use every single thing they've learned to fight for survival and to have a good time. Because they are kids and they are powerful. And some quite lovely scenes filmed on those boats. And the movie was so elegant, and it had to expand into 2 more movies. So it itself has a very excellent threequel involving one of my all-time favorites, the Hulkster. Simply put, 3 Ninjas exploits the plight of being a kid and also having to grow up and take on responsibility. Thank you.
All right, everybody, we'll be right back after this quick break with our top 5 favorite part 3s of all time. Hey everybody, Rockin' Robbie here. I want to talk to you real quick about our YouTube channel. You got to get on the YouTube and subscribe to Pop Culture Philosophers. There you're going to get video previews of the latest podcasts, you get tons of video blogs, and of course special announcements and contest winners announced all the time. So, get on YouTube and subscribe. In fact, you're even going to get my brand new series, Super Mythology, for free. Oh my goodness, it's like a 99-cent value. You got to check it out. Thank you guys.
Hello, your favorite announcer here again. Just to let you know that you can advertise your business on this show and this spot, actually. In fact, our rates are so low, if you're a beer company, we'll advertise it for free beer. Now back to the show. Pop Culture Philosophers with John Hammertime Holtshoe and Rockin' Robbie Phillips.
Hey guys, Rockin' Robbie back here again, Pop Culture Philosophers. Thanks for checking us out. Check out the website, www.popculturephilosophers.com. If you're listening to this, you probably already know about the website. Let's talk a little bit right now about a classic film. Pulp novelist Holly Martins travels to shadowy post-war Vienna, only to find himself investigating the mysterious death of an old friend, black market opportunist Harry Lime. and thus begins this legendary tale of love, deception, and murder. Thanks to brilliant performances by Joseph Cotten and Orson Welles, Anton Kara's evocative zither score, Graham Greene's razor-sharp dialogue, and Robert Krasker's dramatic use of light and shadow, The Third Man, directed by the inimitable Carol Reed, just continues to grow in statures as the years pass. Or at least that's what the Criterion Blu-ray says.
I was gonna
The
say,
Third Man's a great movie.
Sounds like you read that off of
Yeah,
packaging.
it's a great movie.
That was
Carol
part of
Reed.
our press release.
Orson Welles, great shit. Harry Lime, that shit's really good. Mm-hmm. The Third Man, John.
Is
You
that
just-
also on the box? Great shit.
Great shit, yeah.
Robbie Billups, great
Rockin'
shit.
Robbie Billups, quote. John, you just watched it last night or a couple nights ago. What'd you think?
I loved it. I love the dialogue. I love the way it's shot. I love the fact that it's all shot in war-torn Vienna, and it's beautiful because they have some. I mean, there's some beautiful structures there in the first place, beautiful buildings, and just the detail. But then you see those other ones that are also torn apart, and they just shot with that. I really enjoyed the film.
James, you and I have watched this film together many times, and I know that you are a film historian, if you will. Your thoughts on The Third Man, Carol Reed's classic?
I would like to lead off by just saying that Cotton is amazing in that movie.
Yes, he is, dude.
And it is kind of a shame that it's known as an Orson Welles movie, and it's really it's Cotton's movie.
Another great, and he was great in Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And gets overlooked because of Wells.
Was definitely. I mean, he was part of the whole group, so.
Yeah.
But no, like John said, it's an amazingly shot film. I mean, just. And then the suspense that builds up in it all the time. I think it's one of its best points. Is like, as he kind of figures out a little bit more, he learns he doesn't know anything. Then dangers around every corner.
Oh, and it's great because it's totally told from his perspective. So you are right along with him. When they speak in a foreign language like French or German, they don't give you subtitles. You're right there with them. You don't really know what they're saying. You're confused throughout a lot of the movie. It's like a precursor to a film like The Usual Suspects. It really is. Like, I think The Usual Suspects throws back a lot to The Third Man. So if you like Bryan Singer's classic film, which we talked about on the 90s podcast.
And we gave away on the 90s podcast.
Yeah, we sure did. You'll love The Third Man. It's great. It's got the most amazing dialogue ever. And fantastic fucking cinematography. The way it's shot, the angles they use, everything is intentional. I mean, it's almost like the stepchild to Citizen Kane.
I would agree. I mean, it definitely seems like it is. I mean, this is maybe why people think of it as one of his films.
Yeah.
Because it just fits right in line with the way he would do it.
He's in there for like, what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Most of it's running away at the end of the film.
Yeah.
But the one scene he has with Cotton at the Ferris wheel.
Oh, the Ferris wheel. That's
Oh,
an
my
awesome
goodness.
scene.
The dialogue.
And the cuckoo clock thing. The Switzerland thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
That line, that was ad-libbed. They needed an extra line
Really?
or something that was ad-libbed by Wells. He heard it from somewhere, and that's why he said, well, as the man said, or as it's been told, or whatever. But that's a really cool line.
What year was this film?
1949.
And what year was Citizen Kane?
1941.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they're that far apart.
But it's a great film. If you've never seen it, I highly encourage you to watch it, Justin.
I will.
So we talked about the worst 3D films. Oh, sorry, the worst third films. We talked about 3D films, but we haven't talked about our favorite third film.
Ooh.
So I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts. You guys' thoughts on some of the best third films, either to bookend a trilogy or just, a part of a series of films. I'm going to start with, this time I'll start with James.
Awesome.
Let's do a top 100. No, that's too many films. Let's do a top 5.
Okay, top
So your
5.
top 5 number 3s.
All right.
And after that, you can take a number 2. I'm sorry.
You mean like with a taco?
With a
Are we
taco.
doing it descending?
Oh, we're gonna do it alphabetically.
All right, I'm going to start off with an interesting one here. Rambo 3. Just because it's one of my favorites from
it's one of
watching when
your
I was a
favorites.
kid. I know, it's the most ridiculous one, but that's why it's my favorite. Like,
Dude,
you know,
it's very prophetic. The Afghanistan
damn
shit.
thing, yeah, it came
Yeah.
back around. And, I mean, you know, blowing up a helicopter with an arrow. That's how hardcore he is. He was trying to compete with
Okay. Who?
Chuck Norris, you know, from
Oh,
Norris
yeah.
Badass there.
Rambo 3 is awesome, dude.
Yeah. 4. Mad Max. Beyond the Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome.
That was my favorite as a child of the Mad Max.
I mean,
film.
it's the one that we've all seen the most, probably, because it's the one that was always on TV.
Yeah,
It was
it's
on
probably
Fox
more
on the
family
weekends.
oriented
Yeah.
too, right? I mean, isn't geared towards younger audiences than the first two? I mean,
Well, I mean, it has the feral kid, I guess.
I identified with that child as a child.
3. Die Hard with Vengeance.
Ooh,
vengeance.
yeah.
Because, you know, it really brings back after how dismal Part 2 was.
You're right.
Like, we're just going
Wait
to
a
make the
minute.
exact same movie, but put it at an airport. No, and, you know, they actually came up with something for the third one.
Yeah, 2 was bad. 3 was really good. Samuel L.
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson's with
Yeah.
that.
Was
Yeah, I
that
was gonna
before?
say.
What year did that come out?
Like 97, 98, something like that?
Yeah.
This was after Jurassic Park.
Maybe 96, something like that. Yeah, after Jurassic Park, for sure. Maybe 90. I don't know. Somewhere in the mid.
For some
to
reason,
late
he just
90s.
looks younger in that movie.
Bruce
to
Willis?
Me. No, Sam Jackson.
Well, it depends on how he has his hair. If
Yeah.
he grows
Yeah.
it out,
He
he
does.
looks old. Has it shaved, he looks young. You know. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness! I didn't even think about
Because
that.
it's the third part of that.
But you're
series
right.
Of,
Yeah, it is. It's the third in that series. Great film.
yeah,
Great film.
you know, it brings everything around, like I said, and it's super epic. It's like the opus of spaghetti westerns.
Yes, I concur, sir.
And numero uno, Army of Darkness.
Yes.
That's a great list.
And I dropped the microphone.
And we wouldn't even go to everybody else because we can't up that. So we'll just end the show here. No, we're gonna go. Great list. Army of Darkness. Oh, amazing. Great
Yeah,
film.
I
Great
mean,
film.
It's
Friend,
you know
Bruce Campbell, friend of the show. I keep saying that. We met him.
He's the
Robbie
new
and I
Timothy
met
Dalton.
him. He's a great guy, but not necessarily a friend of the show.
He'll be on the show one day, right?
Yeah, it would be great if
He
he
is
was
a
on
friend
the
of the
show.
show, man. He likes
Well,
us.
and,
He did
you know,
like
He
us.
said we were terribly dressed.
He did say that. This is true. If you could see us on the podcast, we actually do the podcast in the nude though because of cost.
Yeah.
And for sound, and for
we can't get anybody to provide a wardrobe.
and for sound, it sounds better in the nude.
No clothes rustling and you know.
I'm gonna go to Justin. Your top 5 number 3s.
Oh my god. In the nude. My number 5 is Goldfinger.
Yeah.
The third James Bond movie.
Great film.
One of the most
Great film.
iconic.
Oh yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best Sean Connery ones for sure.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's fantastic. Art Goldfinger. Like, what a strange last name.
No,
and he
Mr.
also
Bond.
happens to love gold.
I expect you to
What are the
die.
Yeah,
odds?
that's like that's probably the most iconic James Bond scene
Yeah.
with the villain. My number 4 is Dark Knight Rises.
Ooh, nice.
I really,
That's a good movie.
really loved the way they ended that series. Number 2. Oh, wait, I skipped number 3. Number 3.
You did.
Number 3
Number
must not
3
be that
doesn't
good.
matter.
Number 3 is Toy Story 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, you know,
No. That's legit.
we were kids when the first one came out. You guys were a little older than me. I was a kid.
I was a teenager, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's still a kid.
See, when
I was a kid until about 3 years ago.
well, they evolved with me. It came out when I would normally be finishing college had I gone to college. So
I feel
like
you.
it was that happened, and I was like, well, my childhood's over. And it's a really good movie.
So it meant something to you.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
My number 2 is Army of Darkness.
Ooh.
Great minds think alike.
This one is
Yeah.
Dumb
trending
people,
high
too.
tonight.
Yeah, it's a great one. I mean, you know, it sets up that, you know, epic adventure story
Maybe I need
And
to
it's
change my
also
top
with
5.
horror, you know.
I need to change my top 5.
And it's
to be
funny.
different. No, you're not.
It has
lying.
everything.
It's great.
Yeah, and he got there's so many one-liners,
Oh,
and
man.
they just made it even better.
And the show starts soon on, is it Stars or
Stars.
Showtime?
On
Stars.
Halloween, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Isn't
Halloween.
it called Ash versus the Army?
Ash
Evil?
versus
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
We'll
Okay,
be talking
actually.
about the Evil Dead trilogy
A little bit in the Halloween.
on
Rockin'-
the Halloween Rockin' Robbie
Okay.
coming soon.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the show. And Army of Darkness, great pick. And your number one, sir?
My number one favorite third film is Men in Black 3.
Really?
Really,
Is
really.
it, are you just messing with us?
No, Men in Black 3 is my
I'm
favorite.
not judging you because I've never seen it, but I am.
I'm kind of judging
Well,
you.
we're judging.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's so head and shoulders
Wait.
and
Which one?
Is that with, what's his...
That's a Josh Brolin.
with Josh Brolin.
Josh,
Yeah.
okay. I was going to say
Where
Jonah.
Will Smith goes back in time to when Kay is younger.
Is it actually good? I hate it
It
too.
is so.
I hate
it
it
is
too.
like
Usually, if 2 is
worlds
bad,
away.
3 is not going to be better.
That's
Well,
why
sometimes
that
it
made
works
it
the
even
opposite
better.
way.
Yeah, you're right.
That made
Iron
it even
Man?
better here.
Iron Man worked that way.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes
by the
Back
way,
was shit,
that
and
was
then
in
Red
my-
Return was really
You're wrong about that one.
Yeah.
Robbie, your top 5 and number 3s.
Number 5. The finale of Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Dark Knight Rises. I love that film. I think it wraps everything up nicely. The best film adaptation of Bane that we have.
That's okay.
And I just really like that film. I love it a lot. I think it's great. I don't mean to try to defend it. I just think it's a brilliant film. And a great.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily love that version of Bane, but I'll give you that he was badass in the film.
He's more like the Bane from the comics than what we had in Batman and Robin.
What? I don't know what you're referring to. I don't recall this movie.
Yeah.
I've forgot it.
When Alfred
Number
cried, I cried.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
My favorite Harry Potter film and my second favorite Harry Potter book.
How many Harry Potter films are there total?
8.
Holy shit. Are you serious?
Yeah, 7 books, 8 movies.
Are there really 8 movies?
I'm a big Potterhead. And there's no lie about that. Like, everybody knows that. And the introduction of Sirius Black, Gary Oldman. And Lupin, the werewolf. Oh my goodness. I love the book. Love the movie. The Dementors. It's so great. It's better than 1 and 2. The best of the series, in my opinion. Anyway, number 3. Will a Dream Warrior.
Great film. Great film.
The best Nightmare on Elm Street movie, in my opinion, is Dream Warriors. Larry Fishburne.
Good old Larry.
The lady with the TV. Welcome to prime time. You know. Oh my goodness. And the freakiest part of any Freddy movie to me when I was growing up was the kid that was into puppets. And Freddy comes into him in his dream and he makes him a puppet, but uses his muscles and his tendons and makes him walk off the end of the building or whatever. Creep me out. Number 2, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Good one. Good
That's a
one.
great movie.
That was
And
my number 6.
Yeah, that's a great movie. My number 6 is Chasing Amy. Number 3, the Jersey Trilogy. I mean, what can you say? Last Crusade's great, dude. It harkens back to the first one. I love Temple of Doom. I love Raiders. I love all 4 Indiana Jones
I love
movies.
all 3. Yeah.
Number 1, Army of Darkness.
Oh.
Army of Darkness.
Or should I
man.
say Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness?
Yes.
That movie's great, dude. Like the one-liners, it encapsulates
Yeah.
everything about the other movies. Oh my goodness, that movie is so good. It's so fun. I watch it so much. Out of all part 3s, that's the one I've watched the most. Another bad one that I didn't mention was Blade Trinity, by the way.
Ooh, Blade Trinity.
Moving on.
What about you, John?
My top 5. I'm going to go with number 5. I'm going to go with Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh yes,
I don't know how that was left out. I think it's a fun film.
that's a good one, man.
It's a good one. It definitely 2 leaves you hanging. Pulled a Matrix on you.
Yeah.
This predates Matrix, but I love it. I love the Western theme. I'm not.
You
in
love the train,
I
don't
didn't used to
you?
be into Westerns.
I like the train.
Yeah.
I eventually started to love Westerns, but I didn't used to be in Westerns. But I was like, what? It's a Western. Love the movie. Had so much fun. Yeah, the train. The end, I still cry a little bit. I tear up when the DeLorean gets run over. I need a moment.
He does.
It's a very
We
sad
watched that
part.
movie for the Time Travel podcast, and he does.
Number 4, Return of the King.
It takes too long to end, man.
Lord
I'm
of the
sorry.
Rings.
Yeah.
It does take a while to end. I still think it's a beautiful film. Obviously, it's part of that trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Who
It's
knows?
a great ending to 10 hours of film.
Yeah. Well, watch the extended cut, and it's like I think it's 4 days long.
Yeah, it's
I
really
believe
good though.
it's,
I mean, you're not lying, man. It's really good.
It's a good film. You're right. Is long. There's a lot to cover though in that book, and that was a hard task.
I think an epic of that length deserves an ending that long.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, in hindsight, I think it deserved that.
But it's still
ending.
really funny to hear Randall talk about it in Clerks 2, describing it.
It actually is.
my number 3 would be Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade,
Yeah.
which was your number 1. Great film.
It was my number 2.
Oh, it was your number 2? Whatever. Okay, Army Target. I wasn't paying attention to you. Love it. Great film. We've already discussed it. Great film. Great casting. I love those 3 films.
Don't trust her. She's a Nazi.
Yeah. I don't necessarily
She
love the
talks
4th
in her
film
sleep.
altogether, but I don't hate the 4th film. But the 3rd film was just a phenomenal film. And that is his dad. I mean, that's just fucking such great casting.
It's great, man.
Yeah.
It's a good film, man.
That's when he hit his max level, too, and
Dude,
he still looks the same.
The blimp or whatever, the crash.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And just Sean Connery, the way that he played with Harrison Ford, that movie is great, man.
My number 2, Return of the Jedi. Now, a lot of people bash this film. They're like, oh, it wasn't the best of the
I wouldn't
3.
say I bash it.
But first off, it's one of the better 3s, number 1. Number 2, when you first see Luke back, and he's such a badass.
Yeah, he is.
Because you want him back, and you want to see him, because Empire ends on such a down note, so you're waiting for everything to get, because you're waiting for everything to end in a good note, and people are like, oh, there's too much Ewoks, blah, 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 blah. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But
I
you
like
have,
the Ewoks.
To have Han come back, to unthaw Han, have him come back. The whole scene in the beginning on the ship or whatever above the pit, the Sarlacc pit, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
the Sarlacc.
Dude, that whole scene is freaking awesome. And just showing him back up, he's got the black suit. He's
Luke's
the peak.
Luke's BA right
yeah,
there. Man.
dude, he's so badass. So I think that part, maybe it's the first half I'm in love with.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, you quoted Clerks because you said Empire ended on a down note.
Yeah.
Well, Jedi's just a bunch of fucking Muppets.
It is a bunch of Muppets. But I still love the film. My number 1, Dream Warriors as well.
Nice.
We're the Dream Warriors.
It was such an awesome film to see when you first see Nancy show back up
Oh yeah,
after the second film.
the second film was terrible.
The second film's got decent parts.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree. But after Nancy shows back up and she's cognizant of what's going on, she believes the kids, she's helping the kids. It's a mind fuck right there.
It's written by Frank Darabont.
Yeah. They go into more
Produced
detail.
by Wes Craven.
Yeah, they go into more detail about how Freddy is the way he is. It's really fucked up. They go into more detail. And you've got her guiding the kids. It's just fucking, it's an awesome story.
And you have a team of kids against Freddy.
Yeah.
And they know what they're... And you got Larry Fishburne.
Yeah. His first appearance, right? Isn't that his first film?
Maybe, actually,
I think that's
yeah.
one of his first films.
That was 1984, dude.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
It's such a good movie. And I think the perfect trilogy
Yes.
would be, in my opinion, if you took the first film, the third film, and A New Nightmare, you'd have the perfect horror film trilogy. You wouldn't have a better trilogy.
James and I have said that
You
for
could throw
years,
all the rest
man.
in the
Yeah,
trash, and you'd have the best trilogy. Now, I do enjoy some of the other films, parts of the other films, or some of the other films.
Well, part 4
But-
has the Fat Boy song. So...
And Freddy's Dead was in 3D.
I actually like Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead's got enjoyable parts.
Yeah, it had Roseanne in it, too.
It does have Roseanne in it. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Threequels, 3D, whatever it is. I've already screwed up the episode name.
Threequels in 3D.
Of course, with us today was James Lineback.
Always remember, guys, sometimes third time's the charm.
Justin Goldsmith.
Watch Men in Black 3.
My heterosexual life mate, Rockin, Robbie Billups.
3 is the number of completion, the number of Saturn. So remember that. Sometimes you should end your movies with number 3.
And remember, triangles have 3 corners. Join us for our next episode, Killing Time. We'll have the awesome guys on there from the show, Killing Time.
Yes, from the web series Killing Time.
If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's on the YouTubes.
Yeah, Killing Time series on YouTube. Subscribe to them. Subscribe to us.
Yes, please like, share, subscribe.
I'm excited to hang out with Richard, Alex, and James.
And like I said, if you like
Not
and
this
share,
James, but another James.
yeah, there's more than one James
The other
apparently in
James.
this world.
Yeah.
There's two.
Can you
There's
believe
just
that?
the two.
Whoa.
Like and share this episode. You can win a blue.
But have you
Right.
seen us together?
Judge Dredd. What? No. Not Judge Dredd. Not the Stallone.
Wait, they did a
one.
Blu-ray version of the Sly Stallone
No,
movie?
they might have. But we're giving away the Dredd, the one with Keith Urban.
This is one we made. All the budget went to
some
Keith Urban.
3D glasses. More than one set. More than one pair.
But not 3.
So we appreciate you listening in. You can check us out at www.popculturephilosophers.com. And there's a secret Easter egg in this episode. If you rewatch the whole episode or re-listen to it with 3D glasses on, there's a secret Easter egg. But again, you have to listen to it with 3D glasses. And yeah, thanks for listening.